Ever wondered what happens to a child who feels ignored? They often grow up struggling with self-worth and emotional trust.
Okay, so let's get right into it. There's a certain kind of quiet that can fill a childhood. And it's not a peaceful quiet. It's the quiet of absence. We're talking about the inner world of a child who grows up feeling totally invisible, who learns to take up less space, to want less, and honestly, to expect nothing. This is the story of that child.
You know, this quote, it just hits you right in the chest, doesn't it? This isn't about being shy. This is a survival skill that's been learned and practiced for years. It's that feeling deep down that your very presence is an inconvenience, that you're supposed to just fade into the background.
I mean, really think about it. You've probably seen this kid. The one on the playground who gets knocked down but doesn't make a sound. Or the student in the back of the class you never hear from. They're not always okay. They've just learned that making noise doesn't get them anywhere. And that quiet retreat is where we're going to start.
See, for a child, being ignored isn't just disappointing. It feels like a crack in the foundation of who you are. It's the silent, constant message that whispers, "You just don't matter."
And this is so important to understand. We're not always talking about some big, dramatic, cruel act. A lot of the time, it's just absence. It's the questions that never get answered. It's the lack of eye contact. It's the parent who's just too distracted by their phone, by work, by their own pain, to really see the child standing right in front of them. The damage, though, it's just as deep.
So let's talk about this idea of a social mirror. It's fascinating, right? We figure out who we are by seeing ourselves reflected in the eyes of people who care about us. Their reactions tell us, hey, your feelings are real, or wow, you did a great thing. But without that mirror, a child's identity stays, well, blurry, like they're a ghost in their own life, and they start to believe by default that they're just not worth the effort. So what is actually going on inside the mind of this child? Well, the damage isn't just emotional, it's neurological. The silence literally leaves a mark on the developing brain. Okay, so attachment theory tells us that a caregiver's response builds this kind of blueprint for trust in a kid's brain. But when that response isn't there, the blueprint is full of holes. The brain doesn't learn safety, it learns threat. It goes into this constant, low-level freeze or flight mode. And that steady drip of the stress hormone cortisol, it can actually rewire the nervous system to just expect rejection, making anxiety the default setting.
And this is the truly devastating result. It's not just a passing sad thought, it becomes a core belief wrapped up in this deep, toxic shame. A child's brain is just trying to make sense of its world, so it comes to the only logical conclusion it can. The problem must be me. I'm just not important enough to be noticed.
But here's the thing, children are absolutely brilliant survivors. When they don't get the attention they need, they don't just give up, they adapt. They create these roles or masks, and these aren't character flaws, they're incredibly clever strategies to navigate a difficult world.
So let's look at these. You've got the high achiever, who thinks, if I'm perfect, if I'm successful enough, they have to notice me. Then there's the fiercely independent one, who learns that asking for help just leads to disappointment, so they stop asking altogether. And of course, the peacekeeper, who becomes so agreeable, so easygoing, that nobody could ever have a reason to get upset and leave. And sometimes it goes the other way, right? A kid acts out because, hey, even negative attention is better than no attention at all.
And right there, that's the catch. These roles, these masks, they work. They help a child get through childhood, but they come with a hidden price tag. They're just adaptations, they're not healing. And these survival strategies often become rigid patterns that quietly follow them right into adulthood. So what happens when the invisible child grows up? Well, they don't just magically become a secure adult. All those old wounds and survival tactics just keep playing out, often in ways that are really hard to connect back to what happened years ago. These struggles become the background music of life. It's that little voice of low self-esteem that says, don't speak up. Nobody wants to hear it. It's that constant fear of rejection that keeps you from getting too close to anyone. Sometimes it even leads to a kind of emotional numbness where you can't even tell if you're sad or angry. You just feel empty. And listen, this isn't just a theory. The science backs it up. For example, a 2019 study from the Journal of Child Psychology and Psychiatry found a really strong link between emotional neglect in childhood and chronic loneliness in adults, even for adults who were surrounded by people. It's an internal kind of emptiness that other people just can't fill.
Now, this is one of the most ironic twists in this whole story. Because their survival depended on being able to read a room and anticipate other people's moods, many of these kids grow up to be incredibly empathetic adults. They are hyper-aware of what everyone else is feeling. The cost? They often have no idea what they are feeling. They've completely tuned out their own needs.
So, is that it? Is that the end of the story? A life just defined by what was missing? No, absolutely not. The path to healing is all about breaking that silence. It's about finally, consciously, giving yourself the validation you never got.
Healing isn't some giant one-time event. It happens in these small, brave moments. Just acknowledging to yourself that what was missing was a real loss, a real trauma, daring to say no or asking for what you need. Each one of these moments is like a tiny revolution against years of silence. You're literally rewiring your brain to expect to be heard.
And this is the truth you have to hold on to. What happened to you, it absolutely shaped you, but it does not get to be the final word on who you are. The pain was real, 100%, but the resilience you built because of it, that's real too. Healing is about learning to finally see yourself clearly, with compassion.
And that's what it all comes down to, right? There is this incredible power in that transformation. The very thing that caused you so much pain can become your greatest strength. A deep empathy, a promise to make sure other people feel seen. So the real question isn't just about healing your own past, it's about how you're going to use your story to change what comes next. How will you break the silence?